Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, call me on the line, hoping you're having a mighty fine day. The unpacking of the archives is ongoing, so I've got another game for you. Another 3 versus 3. Another Wheeler Canyon game. It's a classic by now. And great players to play with. As you can see here, we've got some competitive stack, and I kind of missed the teams that were in there, and I will tell you the teams as the game goes. Okay, I'm talking about these things.
I don't even remember when this game happened, so yeah. We'll find out how good it is.
If it's saved in my archives and not deleted to conserve space, it's probably a good game to watch. Alright, I'm teaming with Revan. I'm Serpent, he's probably Lotus, as that's the only clan he's been really playing since the 1.58.1. And we've got the pink player with us that it's Razo, wow. It's that one rare occasion that Razorberry is playing, and playing with me actually. And he's Dragon, I guess, because that's the only clan he plays as well. Because it's the easiest clan to master, I guess, because you have piercing units on range and melee both, so you don't need to pick counters. Yeah. Some talk going on in the background about the stability of the multiplayer, which was greatly improved with 1.58.1 compared to even 1.58. And I think this game was recorded a little after 1.58.1 was released. Yeah, just based on those conversations. I'm starting with opening the game with crossbow man and scouting the enemy team, giving intel to my team so they can build up counters or make their own plans how to counter their composition effectively. One crossbowman is scouting, another is going to the rise to harass peasants. So yeah, it's just an opener with the crossbows, morphing into a tavern, probably for bandits, later down the line. No, he's not gonna be able to escape, god damn it. He got caught in melee. Meanwhile, at the top, we've got Wills, who is a purple serpent, defending against the push of Razus with archers. My help with crossbowmen and Revan's support with adepts and acolytes. And the tower is just about enough to prevent the whole rush with those T1 units, because there is no siege, there's no fire to burn the towers, and yeah. It would have been more effective for Razu to go with Chemis, because Chemis would have been effective against the towers, while Revan's melee units could keep the others busy. And I think, seeing that, I'm building the alchemist hut so I can get raiders. But nope, I'm talking about horses now, because yeah, I suspected that the blue wolf, who is Blaze, was getting pack masters. And yeah, we've suffered some great losses at the top. And Razo is already being salty about the gameplay of Revan. I'm going for the stables, bandits and stables. Interesting combination. I guess that's going to be my go-to in this game. And well, yeah, pretty much bandits are effective against everything because of their piercing damage and the balance of the game as it is now, with piercing pretty much being effective against any unit except the Zen Masters. And them being on horses, it's a longevity in their lifespan, and additional blunt damage from the trample, so area of effect. It's a good idea to go for the horses. Meanwhile, some shootouts, skirmishes happening at the top. For now, we can hold this position, and the enemy team doesn't seem to be in a rush, advancing on us. And that their, you know, tolerance, patience, them not being in a rush, gives Revan time to advance, to creep in power as the Lotus player, because Lotus is all about those battle gears, about those tier 2 units, and if you give Lotus time, you will be in trouble later on. The more time you give to the Lotus, the more trouble you will be encountering. So this is like a negative investment. Investment into a negative future. Some shootouts happening now that the Razu got gaseous. We can, you know, do some poking here and there, and yeah, I'm telling Revan to go for a Dark Canopy, because the composition of the enemy team consists of primarily of the ranged units. And as you know, the Dark Canopy from the Staff Adept in the Lotus Clan, it provides full immunity to ranged attacks. Stealing that horse, yoink! And yeah, sending some crossbowmen to save that peasant, because the wolf peasant is gonna kill him if I just leave them to combat. But if I keep disengaging and wait for those crossbowmen, I have a chance to survive and get that horse safe and sound into my stable. I'm wondering if I'm gonna, like... Yeah, he got saved. He got saved. Nice! Raiders coming from the Purple Serpent, Wills. Not gonna be effective, because the tower is near the water, and it's easy to extinguish, and we have a lot of units to kill the raiders. So it would have been more effective to attack the army you got, so like push all together, and then attack the raiders while our army is distracted attacking the army of the enemy. I don't know if I'm making sense there, but yeah, I tried to explain to the best of my ability. Horses coming in, I've got 4 bandits on horses, and going for cannoneers, mines, I guess. That's useful against the wolves, and again, I see that I'm going to protect my rise against the backdoor attacks that may come from the enemy. Because, as you see, all the action is going on at the top, and my cannoneers are protecting the bottom rise. Those crossbowmen, as you see, I'm utilizing them effectively, efficiently, that would be more appropriate, and poking the rise of the enemy, and dealing some damage, actually killing peasants and setting the enemy Lotus back. Yep. A lot of wolves coming from the blue wolf, from Blaze, Peach Slingers as well. Revan is taking heavy losses because he is there on the front line, while Razu and me are in the back. I am waiting for the moment to attack, the correct moment, the right moment, and it's not yet presenting itself. I trampled once, and now I'm trying to save the stamina on horses as much as I can. Peach Slingers coming in from Blaze, and I'm gonna intercept them with bandits, good idea, while the cannoneers are now coming in because I have to mobilize everyone I have, because right now we are being heavily outnumbered in here. There is no DC, there's yeah, it is looking very bad for us in here. As you see, I'm back on the rise with my bandits because I need to save the stamina for trample. I'm also being salty about Draven's performance. And my cannoneers are standing for some reason, not attacking anything. Not sure why. Very careful trample of the Peach Slingers in there. So the tower is now safe because there are no siege units from the enemy. There are raiders at the top, but they are busy attacking the other buildings and not the tower. And attacking the tower would have been a better choice. But maybe there's gonna be a chain reaction from the nearby buildings. So the tower may burn in the end. But it's always best to, you know, throw a couple torches into the tower to make sure it's going down. Because all they need to do here is just, you know, basically take the tower down, right? And it's gonna happen. It looks like it's gonna happen because the pitch slinger is still there. I guess that's a reinforcement, and the raiders are now nearby, and we are still being outnumbered, and the enemy Lotus has DC, and oh my god, does it look bad for us. I'm trying to be very careful with my unit picks, the targeting. I got myself into real trouble with the sentry nearby that I can't kill for some reason. And is this gonna cost me all the bandits? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I lost one bandit and the other two are just lucky to be alive because they have no hit points. And the sentry is really messing up everybody in here. My cannoneers limping away on red health as well. But as you may witness, the enemy is taking heavy losses as well because they got too cocky. They got too greedy and they lost their army, their main force. And the tower, the pink tower from Razu, is still standing. It wasn't taken down, and that is big. Meanwhile, I am getting more horses, I'm getting more units, and now I have a force to be reckoned with. And I'm telling Revan to take it slow, yes. We can't go without DC, because DC is important.
Of course, sir. Serpent.
So now that we have, you know, this moment to rest, while the enemy is getting reinforcements and we are growing in power, I'm taking this time to advance at my base, building the bathhouse, and going for the town square now, yes, so I can build more towers, or I can get a keep. Got 4 horses now. Apparently one of my horses was stolen by Razu. As you see that peasant nonchalantly just collecting resources. And I wonder whose horse that is. But, you know, I'm not greedy. You can have that horse. You need it, because you've been under heavy fire in here. Okay, this is where I have developed the plan to attack the bottom while all the main, you know, skirmish is happening at the top. And they can hold this, you know. Razor's Dragon, Raven, with DC is it's gonna be easy to defend this side. And they don't really need me, because if I go out, I'm gonna be destroyed by the sheer force of the enemy.
Yes, sir.
So that's why it's I figure it's more efficient to attack at the bottom, provided I can do that efficiently. So, you know, this is gonna shift the focus of the enemy towards the bottom. They are gonna be less focused on this side, so my teammates get advantage of well, just an advantage, you know. They can be they can play around the enemy not being focused. And yeah, Draven's adepts, they keep running in, dying, and I'm giving advice on how to keep the DC going without issues. Still haven't gone to the bottom, because I see that the enemy is keen on pushing at the top side. So I try to scare them with the horses I got. And I have a lot of horses now, and geishas as well, so this is really, really good. Oh! The hang, and I'm prematurely calling a GG, but it recovered. Which is a big relief. A big relief. Nobody really wants to see the sync error popping up on the screen with that annoying ding-ding sound.
Let's go.
And yeah, this is where I'm going to the bottom now, and I'm gonna be attacking from the bottom.
Armed and ready.
And you know, this is not me playing alone,
My venom awaits.
even though it may seem that way, right? It's not me playing alone. Me being at the bottom and them holding the top as 2 players against 3 players, it requires some teamwork, it requires some communication, and as you can see, I'm already able to build the keep 15 minutes into the game as Serpent, and the first hero I'm gonna call is gonna be Wetkin to disable the enemy Lotus.
Point and shoot.
And here I'm poking the bottom. As you can see, it's not defended by anyone. Dusk is being salty that I have horses. Oh, Dusk is the Lotus in this game. Okay, I see. So he is the one I'm poking. Hence why he is salty about this.
Yes, my
Oh yeah, the keep is done. This is big. I'm trying to reinforce this position by getting a tower. First at my side, because I'm gonna be gradually moving forward. Wetkin ran up, because I don't need Wetkin here. There's nobody to use Wetkin on. And at the top we have enemy Lotus. That's why moving Wetkin in there is important. Me scouting the crossbow first and then going in with the horses to disable the enemy economy, at least for some time. Here I am just attacking the units I got. I see that the Blaze in there is blessing Peach Slingers and the bombs are always dangerous, so I'm just trampling and going back.
moving master with great haste.
And yeah, here's the second tower, so I can like gradually move together with my towers to reinforce this position and make it not so easy to attack in case the enemy decides to gang up on me.
Armed and dangerous. With pleasure. Fire when ready. Attack. Point and shoot.
Really going to kill that Deceased, because Deceased with Whale is going to dismount all of my horses, as you might know from my previous video. Meanwhile, Draven, he is now known as Draven, Draven and Razo are both attacking the top and they are making some progress. As you see, they can move forward, they can pressure the enemy, and that is because they are losing the actual focus because of my attacks at the bottom. And now you saw that can being used, and that is that will send
Moving master.
the enemies into panic mode. Together with them losing the enemy, and here's the third tower, by the way. And yeah, Blaze, as I see here, Blaze has werewolves with wolf bite, so he is able to deal some real damage. But I'm not really afraid of three werewolves, not much. Now the Wetkin is here because werewolves are around, and I need to disable them,
Sneak and destroy.
and Wetkin is going to help me with that. I see that Dusk is going for the crypt, I think, because it's a big building. Yeah, it's the crypt. And I need to prevent him from building that crypt. I see him destroying the peasant huts, and yeah, he's being really salty about this now. He gave up, basically, because he was not able to build the crypt. He destroyed the peasant hut. But Blaze here has a lot of army. A bunch of werewolves, druids, ballistas, and a totem. I'm losing units here, taking heavy losses, and he's sending more reinforcements, and I have to go back because this is a lot of stuff to deal with, and it's not easy to deal with. And this is where the towers that I had built are coming into play. If this was, you know, just open area without any towers, I would have been steamrolled. But because I have towers here, they have to stand back and not attack until they get some siege or something. Even though, you know, now that I took a look at the Blaze's army, he could attack right here.
On my way.
And I guess Dusk reversed his decision to give up and just continued building that crypt and the peasant hut now. Interesting. But yeah, I'm remarking on this, and now, you know, I still have to prevent him from building the crypt. And that's where the blast shot from the musketeers is going to help me. Blast shot is always good.
Yes, my servant.
Yeah, this is, you know, an advice for every player out there. Don't jump the gun so soon. Sometimes the games that seem impossible to win, you can recover from pretty much everything. It really depends on the mindset, and I'm not even kidding. In my practice, in my experience, there has been a lot of situations that they seemed unrecoverable. And you know what, I just remember the video there from the old game, you know, in Game Ranger Legacy version. I was playing with Tsubasa, if you remember that player, and we won the game as 2 players against 3 on the same wheeler. You know what, I will just add a link. You will see it in the top right corner right about now, that video. If you want to watch it, watch it. It's an epic game. I still think it's an epic game, even though it's the legacy version. It's a lot of musketeers, from what I remember. Basically, the message is, even if the situation seems bad, it can still be recovered from. You have to fight until the end, you have to believe in yourself. And yeah, that's it. And while I was talking, I got really heavy pushed by the enemy. 2 players against me, and you know, I don't have the army anymore. All I have here is towers and geishas, and that's it. And heroes, by the way. Heroes are very important. Dusk is doing, I don't understand what. He's trying to build the tower under my towers. And I have raiders, I have blast shot. He is not going to be able to build that tower. It's just not happening. I intercepted the death sentry. I saw that happening. Good move on my part. Dusk is still determined on building that tower. It's just not gonna happen, and I guess at this point he's just not playing, he is not trying. He knows the game is lost, and I guess he is right, because I see that Raven and Razu have progressed very far into the enemy base, while the enemy was distracted attacking me, trying to take me down. And this is what I mean about the teamwork, about the communication, about the situational awareness. You just work together. You don't even have to communicate sometimes. It depends on the, you know, teammates understanding how the game goes. It's sort of a team synergy and stuff. Werewolves are dangerous, but I have Vetkin. And with Vetkin I'm not afraid, because they can't run anywhere, they can't use their wolf bite, which deals grievous piercing damage. And yeah, it's just doable. At this point I can spam heroes. Dusk going down. This is pretty much over. Blaze and Wheels cornered. Bottom left, they are cornered, they can't do much. Wheels going the cockroach mode. And I'm on the chase. I hate cockroaches, so I have to prevent that from happening. While Draven and Razu are dealing with what little remains of our enemies. Blaze in this case.
I obey, my lord.
Blaze going down. And now it's Wills. He's the only one left, and I guess he decides to just
Like a shadow.
give up
Fast as I can.
and not run anymore. And yeah, he wanted to do some glass swords, but that was not happening because I was on the chase. Blast shot will help me deal with peasants. Just like that, the game is over and we are off to the statistics. As always, thank you for your time, and I'll see you on the battlefield.